Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's day 4 of the Back Yourself Festival, and we have another day of authors to meet and presentations and panels. So I'm very excited because our first guest today is me. So I'm starting today's event. My name is Peace Mitchell. I'm the co-founder of Osmompreneur and the Women's Business School. For those of you who haven't met me before, I'm very excited to be here and presenting today. So I'm going to share my screen and we will get started. Just give me a minute to organize the tech. Getting everything going. Okay, so today my topic is the connection economy. So my name is Peace Mitchell and I am in business with my sister Katie. So Katie and I have been in business together for 11 years. And before that, we also ran a nonprofit organization together for 2 years. As well as that, I have 4 children and I live in North Queensland. And my eldest son is a professional dancer with the Australian Ballet, and he works as a dance educator, traveling all around Australia, teaching children about dance. So my business has really allowed me to have the freedom to be able to support him in following his dreams, to enabled me to have the flexibility and family time to have with my children. It's also enabled my sister and I to be able to run a business together, to travel together, to have all kinds of great adventures and fun together, doing what we love, and also, you know, bringing in a financial income for our family. So if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This quote both inspires me and challenges me. Well, not the fast part. The fast part's easy. You know, when I was a little girl growing up in far north Queensland, I'd speed around the streets on my bright red bike. And when the wind's in your hair and you're on your own, you can go really fast. And fast was the hustle that kept me up day and night trying to get it right in my first business. But it's far that was hard. Far meant that the best university for me was in Townsville, over 300 kilometres away. Far meant that the best business conferences always seemed to happen in Brisbane, an 18-hour drive away. Far meant that getting to China to meet with manufacturers and find the best quality materials seemed actually impossible. And far meant that the opportunities for me to succeed often seemed just out of reach, especially when my children were young, making it hard to even get to the local networking events. As an entrepreneur in regional Australia, I felt isolated and alone. Where were my people? I want you to close your eyes now and imagine a time where you felt utterly alone. And now I want you to picture the people who helped you through this time. Okay, open your eyes, because no matter who you are, what you do, or where you live, we all need connection. So I'll never forget the night that Larry came to town, destroying everything in his path. Larry was a Category 5 tropical cyclone who forced his way into our home at 240 kilometres an hour, blowing out the windows with an almighty bang and a bone-chilling shattering of glass. I hid under the bed and held my babies close, shaking and singing them songs to drown out the hideous sounds of the rainforest outside being torn apart and distract them from the nightmare that was unfolding before our eyes. In the aftermath of a disaster, the first thing that happens is the structural repairs. Roofs are tarped, roads are cleared, and power lines are untangled. Yet it's the emotional repairs that are harder to clean up and are often overlooked. After feeling helpless and literally left holding the baby, my sister Katie and I and two close friends created a non-profit organisation called Mothers Helping Others. We were inspired by Quentin Bryce, the Governor General at the time, who encouraged us to look after the mothers because they're the glue that holds a community together. They're the ones who look after everyone else. We dreamed up all kinds of ways to bring the magic back to our broken community. We formed partnerships with local and state government, corporate partners, schools, and local businesses, and focused on really creating opportunities for our community to come together. We rebuilt playgrounds, we hosted events, and we shared the stories of local families through children's art and writing. What we didn't realize at the time was that the common element running through all of these projects like a thread was connection. These projects brought women together to share their stories, to heal, and move forward in rebuilding theirs and their families' lives. We won awards for our work and really did play a big part in helping our community to recover. But then, after a while, it was time to try something new. My first idea was hand-embroidered bikinis. I had such big visions for this business. Colourful designs embellished with luxurious ribbons, sparkling glass beads, and golden threads. I had the creativity, the vision, and the ambition, but I lacked the connections. Without fashion experience or a mentor to guide me, without warm introductions to the retail stores that never returned my calls, without being connected to overseas manufacturers that actually understood the quality I was looking for, this business was destined to fail. This story is not unique. Australia has hundreds of thousands of incredible businesswomen. They grow global empires from spare rooms on remote cattle stations. They bounce between school and playdates and sport, all the while juggling deals and bouncing products into international markets. So many of them are doing it by themselves. But it's not just by themselves. They do it alone. 44% of mums in business feel guilty about investing time in their business. And nearly as many don't have a single other entrepreneur in their network to talk to. Although my first business failed, it was a big part of my eventual success because I realized that the lack of connections that I was facing was something women all over Australia were experiencing too. So I called my sister Katie and we started up dreaming plans for an online community to connect women everywhere. A place where you would always feel welcome, supported, and included, where you could share your challenges and your wins, and where you could find the connections that would be pivotal to your business journey. If you needed an accountant, a graphic designer, the contact for the buying agent at Walmart or Harrods, the chances were someone would know someone who could help you. The community grew quickly, and it is now more than 6 times the population of our hometown of Innisfail. Every week, Katie and I receive notes of gratitude, women sharing how someone they met in our community shared an insight that transformed their business, and how now, years later, that same incredible business connection had become a lifelong friend. As bright as these women shine as individual stars, Katie and I could see how much more they achieved as glorious constellations. We'd found the magic that we'd felt through connecting local women, but now it was happening all over Australia, as if the volume had been turned all the way up. We'd created our own connection economy. The connection economy is a beautiful discovery with elegant simplicity. The better connected you are, the more value you create and experience. And so do your connections. everyone grows together, so the collective value grows exponentially. The connection economy is the economy of prosperity, collaboration, and infinite possibilities. Our new business grew quickly, and although in the early days we could do everything ourselves, we realized that to scale our business, we would need to build a team. When you start a business, you have to do everything yourself. But to grow your business, you have to do the opposite and let go of doing everything and learn to trust others. The businesses who don't do this either become stunted and never grow beyond that size, or hustle until they crash and burn because of burnout and exhaustion. But the good news is there are a few ways to get help. First is to leverage partnerships by aligning with businesses that can help you to grow. We have lots of examples of this with collaborations with people like Karen McDermott, our publisher, all of our authors in the book Back Yourself, and so many other partnerships that we have going at the moment and have had in the past and will continue to have in the future. The next thing you can do is to employ staff. Now, if you're just starting out, I would warn you that there's things that you should look into before taking on a full-time staff member, such as super and tax. But it can be an incredible way to grow your business and to really build a team of people who are loyal and share the vision that you have for your dream. The third thing you can do is to work with contractors. And for people starting out, this can mean a virtual assistant, someone who can help you with the admin, keeping up with your emails, and helping you to run your social media and keep everything going. Oh, the fourth thing is hiring a virtual assistant. The third thing was working with contractors, and that's people like your accountant, graphic designers, and all kinds of people like that who can help you to do the bits and pieces in your business to keep it going. The connection economy is essential to scaling your business. And I recommend asking for help with referrals and recommendations whenever you're choosing someone to work with or to outsource or delegate your tasks to. Society has learned so many lessons in 2020, but one of the biggest has to be that we are all connected. It used to be, we're big, you can trust us, but today, the bigger you are, the less trusted you are. Today, the most trusted companies are the most intimate. They're the more authentic. The companies that have the best reputation have found a way of connecting on a more personal level through social media. But why do we need connection? Well, when we're connected, we're better able to find solutions to complex problems. We're healthier and happier, and we have access to more experiences and opportunities. Brené Brown specializes in social connection and says, a deep sense of love and belonging is an irresistible need of all people. We're biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. When those needs are not met, we don't function as we're meant to. We break, we get sick, we fall apart, we numb, we hurt others. I recently heard a story about a traditional village where all the women washed clothes together down by the river. But little by little, they all got washing machines, followed by a sudden outburst of depression. No one could figure out why. Why on earth was having a washing machine giving women depression? But you see, it had nothing to do with the washing machines. It was the loss of time spent doing things together. It was the absence of community. It was the loss of the opportunity to socialize with each other and talk about the things that mattered. As people, we've become so independent. I'm fine, we tell ourselves, when in reality, we're depressed, we're overwhelmed, we're lonely. I'm fine, I'm just really busy now, we say, when days, weeks, months, and years go by without connecting with friends. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's so easy to say, even when it's not true. We've become so isolated that it's hard to know how to get back. It's hard to know how to even try to begin to build the kind of relationships we need. And in our current culture, it's just not as easy or organic as it once was. Because now we all have our own washing machines. We don't depend on each other to do the laundry or cook dinner or raise our babies anymore. We don't really depend on each other much for anything, if we're being honest. Brene Brown believes that being isolated can be as damaging to our physical health and the length of our life expectancy as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Our longing for connection is real. It isn't a luxury or an extra to fit in when we're too busy. It's a necessity. We don't want it, we need it. So why is it so hard to achieve connection? The challenge of distance is something rural, remote, and regional women all face. But there's an emotional distance too, and it's taught to every girl from a young age. Our society doesn't encourage us to collaborate. From a young age, fairy tales and Disney movies send the message that women and girls must compete with each other, distrust each other, and envy each other. Where are Cinderella, Snow White, and Ariel's female friends? Disney princesses are more likely to be friends with animals than other girls. They rarely have mothers, and the lead women are evil stepsisters and wicked stepmothers out to betray them and bring them down, whatever it takes. Disney films send us a clear message. You can't trust other women. Then our education system sends us a message as well, insisting that we must always do our own work, be independent, and that sharing or collaborating is the same as cheating. This teaches us to compete for individual grades instead of collaborating with our peers to solve problems, and striving for individual achievement and the highest mark in the class at all costs. Then in business, we're taught to be aggressive, be first to market, get a good lawyer, make sure everyone you meet signs a non-disclosure agreement, because you never know who's going to steal your idea. The voice of our inner critic comes into play here too, telling us we don't deserve to ask for help. If we were smarter, we could figure it out by ourselves, that others don't want us inconveniencing them or annoying them, and that why would anyone want to help us? It's the fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of criticism, the fear that we are in fact an imposter, and if we ask for help, everyone will know. We've been conditioned to do it on our own, and asking for help is almost like admitting failure or admitting that you're not clever enough, strong enough, or competent enough to work it out on your own. Our own deepest fears and insecurities are attempting to keep us safe by keeping us small and holding us back from asking for and receiving the connection that we need to scale our businesses, follow our dreams, achieve our goals, and create a bigger impact on the world through the work we're doing. With all of this going on, it's no wonder connection is hard. It's no wonder we're experiencing a global mental health crisis. It's no wonder more than 60% of small businesses will fail before their third birthday. It's no wonder nearly half of all female entrepreneurs feel guilty about investing time in their business or asking for help. Distrust, individualism, aggression, self-doubt. That's why connection is hard. But it doesn't have to be this way. In 2016, Katie and I launched the Women's Business School, not just to teach business skills, but to teach the art of connection and introduce women to the crucial connections they need to succeed. It's gone on to be named Australia's best incubator for women at the Women in Digital Awards. Why? Because with connection, incredible things can happen. Take Georgina McEnroe, for example. George is the founder of Sheba, the female-only rideshare service designed to be so safe you'd happily send them to pick up your kids from school. She told me how male investors couldn't understand why on earth she'd create this service when Uber already exists. And perhaps other men are thinking the same thing, but women everywhere are thinking, finally. George understood that problems won't get solved by people who don't experience those problems. So she turned to her community and, using equity crowdfunding, gave her community the power to invest, to be the investors. She raised $3 million from the very same people her business was designed to help. Or how about Ayumi Morioki, the founder of Women in Tech, who in just 2 years has launched chapters globally, partnered with the UN, and held events all over the world hosted by passionate ambassadors. Or Oprah Winfrey's favorite guest, the incredible Dr. Tererai Trent, whose dream of creating generational change through education for children in Zimbabwe has now leveraged her connections to build 11 schools and educate over 38,000 African children. These women are incredible leaders who've built deeply connected communities of people around them. You could call them super connectors. I've found that there are certain qualities that super connectors have in common that we can all learn to cultivate. The first is reciprocity, otherwise known as the act of giving generously, knowing that the favor will be returned, not necessarily by the person you've given the favor to, or even anytime soon, but trusting that when you're kind to someone, that kindness will also be returned to you. The second thing is relationships. You'll notice that when a super connector connects with someone, it's about the person and not about what their position is or their title. Have you ever been to an event where someone asks you, what do you do? In a way that implies, do you deserve to be here? Super connectors never do this. They look beyond the title to find more about the person in front of them. So next time you meet someone new, why not try asking what brings you joy or what lights you up instead of asking what you do? You'll eventually find out about what they do anyway, but you'll learn a lot more about the person first. The next thing is resonance. We gravitate towards people who are wonderful to be around. A person with positive energy, self-confidence, and a great sense of humor is always someone you want to be with. Resonance is all about your energy. And when you feel good, it literally attracts other people, experiences, and opportunities to you. So I'm going to take you through a meditation now. So I'll get you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and breathe out and breathe in. And to begin this mindfulness meditation, start with something simple that you're experiencing at this moment. It could be the wind in the trees outside. It could be the feeling of being in the moment. Just experience that moment and feel gratitude for being here right now. Next, I want you to bring to mind gratitude for someone you haven't met who's helped you in your day already somehow. It could be the singer of the song that you were listening to on the radio. It might be the author of a book that you're reading at the moment. It could be the person at the shops who served you when you bought something. Just feel gratitude for whoever it was and the work that they did that you experienced today. Next, I want you to feel gratitude for somebody that you work with and that you know well. Someone who's helped you in some way this week or today. Feel gratitude for their role and for the things that they do for you and the work they do. And now I want you to bring to mind someone close to you who you love. It could be your partner or your husband. It could be your children. It could be a close friend. Think of that person and feel gratitude for who they are and the wonderful memories that you have together. Feel gratitude. And now I want you to think about yourself. I want you to give feelings of gratitude towards yourself for everything that you've done for yourself, for everything you've achieved, for the challenges you've overcome. Feel gratitude and say thank you to yourself. I now want you to bring to mind your future self, 12 months from now, the person you will be in 1 year's time. I want you to feel gratitude for everything that has happened between now and then, all the things that you've done that have taken you to that place in the future, all the dreams and things you've achieved and challenges you've overcome between now and then. And feel gratitude for yourself, your future self, for everything you've done. Finally, appreciate the opportunity to pause and experience this practice of gratitude for all that you've brought to mind during this meditation, for all of the countless gifts in your life. Say thank you to all the people around you who are part of your life, for all that you've experienced. Say thank you. Allow this beautiful sense of gratitude to fill you completely as you breathe in and breathe out. Settling on the breath right here, right now, fully alive and present in this very moment. Finish with a full deep breath in and a long, slow breath out. And gently and slowly open your eyes and return your awareness to the place where you are. We're now going to take this feeling of gratitude and this connection that we've started with our future self one step further and write a thank you letter to our future self. I've set up a dedicated email address so that you can send this letter as an email to your future self. And I will then send this email back to you in 12 months' time, and you'll receive this letter from your past self. So I want you to tell yourself in this email how proud you are of everything that you've achieved, of all the challenges you've overcome, and the person that you're becoming. The email address to send it to is ozmum20@gmail.com. And full disclosure, I'm not using these email contacts for anything else apart from this activity to send it to you. So you won't get any marketing or anything sent to that email address. It's just for you to write a letter to your future self. I also won't be reading any of the emails either. I'll simply be forwarding them straight back to you in 12 months' time. So I'm going to stop the share so that you're able to access your email. And you can open up your email now, and I'll give you 3 minutes to write a letter to your future self. I'll just put the email address in the chat in case you've missed it. Oh. Just give you a couple of minutes to write your letter to your future self, and I might write one as well while I'm here. Okay, that should be enough time. So make sure you send that email. If you're watching on the recording, feel free to send that email through as well, and I will forward it back to you in 12 months from now. So today I've been talking about superconnectors, and superconnectors are powerful because connection is great for business. Connection to yourself, but also connection to the people around you and other businesses. By building relationships, listening, nurturing, collaborating, and fostering connections rather than assets, the connection economy provides opportunities for solving problems, finding profits, and redefining success in ways that benefit society as a whole and not just the few wealthy individuals at the top. It's about abundance for us all and all of us winning. Superconnectors have the power to do incredible things, give back in incredible ways, and they understand that we rise by lifting others. What inspires me is that so many of them started from a place where they felt remote, forgotten, or alone. And yet now, with powerful networks surrounding them, they've achieved so much. So how can we leverage the power of connection? As entrepreneurs and business leaders, we have an opportunity to create resonance and surround ourselves with positive people, to find new ways to create deeper connections and relationships with our clients. And we have the opportunity to collaborate with other businesses who align with the values of the change that we want to see in the world. If you have a platform, then why not use this platform for reciprocity, to lift others up, to give back, and to give others a voice? The connection economy provides us with a powerful force for change and unique opportunities to co-create a brighter future for us all. My sister and I won't stop until we've taken our connections global, breaking down barriers for women in business everywhere as we do. And we'll get there because we will lean on, show up for, and continue to grow with our community. We'll get there by always asking, what can I give instead of what can I get? And we'll get there because when things get tough, as they inevitably do, we will ask for help early and often. And we'll go far because we'll always, always go together. Okay, so if you want to connect with me, my website is thewomensbusinessschool.com. I have a slide for it. And we have our intake for next year's cohorts starting in March next year. And thank you so much for being here for my presentation. And if you're watching on the recording, thank you for watching the replay. Please reach out if you have any questions. You can find me on LinkedIn as Peace Mitchell, as well as at Instagram and Facebook.